What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're here for AEW on TBS review for March the 2nd, 2022. Tonight was the big night. Tony Khan has been teasing us for weeks that tonight he was going to make a big announcement. This announcement was so big. We've had Tony Khan, we've had on Rampage and AEW say, Tony Khan's going to make a big announcement this Friday or this Wednesday. And then it's just Tony Schiavone speaking for Tony Khan about what the announcement is. Not tonight. Tonight, we had Tony Khan in the middle of the ring. That's how big this was. The fact that Tony Khan, who's only been on TV one other time, and the only other time that happened was because of the Brody Lee tribute show. That was the only other time. Different circumstances, but big deals. So, we're going to get right into it. There's no beating on the bush. This is what they started the show off with. Tony Schiavone in the ring with Tony Khan, hands in the mic. Says he normally keeps people on time, so he'll get us to the wrestling tonight. He thanks everyone for being here and thanks everyone at home for keeping them company. Going into the pandemic, he says he started AEW 3 years ago, and it was out in that parking lot because we were in Daly's Place tonight, the home of AEW, and now the home to Ring of Honor. He said 17 years before that, another company started known as ROH. He has been a fan for a long time, so he's excited as he is the new owner of Ring of Honor. Not Shane. No, there is no Shane. It's him. I thought that was kind of funny. The Aew of Honor show featured Christopher Daniels in a triple threat match. One of his opponents is here tonight, and neither of them won and is eating them up. And this man is Bryan Danielson. We had Bryan Danielson versus a returning who we have not seen since the Soul SCU was broken up last year by the Young Bucks, Christopher Daniels. So this is, I guess, a rematch of sorts from 20 years ago, 20 years and a week between Bryan Danielson and Christopher Daniels. Not just any Christopher Daniels, the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. Comes out with the guard, with his entrance gear and everything. Awesome. Again, yes, it's been a year, almost a year, since Christopher Daniels has been seen in AEW on TV. He's been on BTE. He wrestled Jay White in his USFJ challenge for New Japan Pro Wrestling. But this is, for the first time in almost a year, that CD is in an AEW ring. And it looks, I don't know what's going on with his eye, but damn, that looks disgusting. Apparently, that is, legitimately an injury. That's not him wearing you see Malachi wearing a contact lens to make his eye look different. No, his eye is just like that because of whatever happened last year. So, these guys went out there. They started with the handshake, a code of honor. That was pretty cool. And the match, and this is the thing, it was a really good match. But this match is 1,000% overshadowed with the big news. Had themselves a damn good match. You saw an Arabian moonsault by Christopher Daniels onto the outside, which looked great. I know a couple times he tried to pull that move off in AEW, and it looked terrible. Danielson gets his chest lit up the entire match. Reversed Blue Thunderbomb. Reversed the match into a Blue Thunderbomb was Daniels. Now, Bryan is hit a rolling elbow strike and grants him a near fall. Danielson once again takes too long on the top turnbuckle, and Daniels, which is really hard to call a match between these two because one guy's last name is Daniels and the other one is Daniel's son. Damn, and they messed up a couple times tonight too, by the way. He tries to hit a Hurricane Rana, but Bryan pushes him away only for him to get caught in midair and drops Christopher on and goes for the best moonsault ever, but Danielson catches him, locks in a triangle choke, and flexes as it happens. Danielson says 20 years ago, the first Ring of Honor show, they were in the main event. They started the match with a handshake. They ended it with a handshake. He grabs his hand and says, let's hear it for Christopher Daniels. But he's not in Ring of Honor. He is in AEW, and it's time to kick somebody's head in. Pulls his arms up, starts stomping away, and does his, usual shtick. He says, Sunday, Jon Moxley, it will be your head getting stomped in. Here comes Moxley to the ring. He says he can see Danielson is better and more violent than ever. But he's got it wrong. There's two paths he can walk, and right now he's at Crossroads. Danielson thinks Moxley will walk down a path to get his head kicked in, but that isn't what will happen. He chooses another path. Through sheer force of will, he will walk through bullets and through Bryan. At the end of the path, he beats the American Dragon. He says the story of Jon Moxley is just starting, and the first chapter is written this Sunday, and it will be written in blood. And he says there's millions watching right now, and Moxley invites Danielson to take a shot. Danielson pretends he's going to, get ready to box him and everything, fight him, but he rolls away. He's going to save it for Sunday. This is going to be one of the best matches of the show. We have a dog collar match, and we'll get into all that later. But my God, a dog collar match is going to pale in comparison to how violent this match probably is going to be. Now let's circle back to what the opening segment was. Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor. Now, the first thing we can say is AEW now owns the tape of All In. They own the trademark, they own the logos before all this, but now they own All In. So they can promote All In whenever they see fits, whatever they want to do with that. Now the question is, what does Tony Khan do with Ring of Honor? And I, on the top of my head, cannot tell you what that is. We have multiple champions: the Briscoes, Jonathan Gresham, Diana Purrazzo, who's contracted with Impact Wrestling. You have Supercard of Honor, which according to the rumors going around and innuendos and everything, is that Swerve is signed with AEW. But Swerve was announced for this show, the Supercard of Honor. That right there should have been a hint about what the future of Ring of Honor is going to be, with Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor. Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor, and here's the thing. AEW is owned by Tony Khan and his father, Shadid. Ring of Honor is solely owned by Tony Khan. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Tony does. Is this his own venture? There is nobody else. There's nobody else on the ticket. It's just him. What is he going to do with it? Hell if I should know. All I know is we got ourselves a lot of speculation. People are speculating maybe Cody is going to be in Ring of Honor. Maybe Cody's going to be the guy booking Ring of Honor. Maybe Cody's going to become the face of Ring of Honor. I mean, it's been radio silent on Cody's end since the rumor of him going to WWE after his after him leaving AEW. Not a single peep around. That could be anything. That could be Tony Khan calling Cody. He's like, dude, we have this plan. You need to shut the hell up so we can have this whole entire plan come to fruition, and it becomes a big, huge surprise. Because, in AEW, we don't know. We can speculate. Like, when Keith Lee made his debut, everybody probably, half the people guessed Keith Lee. Some people guessed Karrion Kross or Killer Kross. Some people guessed that Tony Khan bought out Jeff Hardy's 90 Days and Jeff Hardy was going to make his debut. But, yeah, that's like Sting. Sting made his debut at When It Was Coming 1 in 2020. Not a single peep of possibility of Sting making his debut in AEW. That was a crazy surprise. Christian Cage being the big surprise in Revolution, I believe it was last year. It's just, this is something that, yeah, if Cody Rhodes is going to be the guy going over there and being the head of Ring of Honor, or something that has to do with Ring of Honor, Vince McMahon, not Vince. 1,000% Tony Khan would want him to shut his mouth so they could get this off the ground. Now, it was under an NDA that Tony couldn't say anything up until tonight. What is going to come from this? We do not know just yet. But I don't want to see a AEW Ring of Honor invasion type angle. Leave that to Amateur Hour over there. I don't need to see no goddamn invasion angle. And if you've ever seen me everywhere before, I despise invasion angles. They never work. The whole idea of an invasion angle. The whole idea of an invasion angle is that both sides come out in the end beneficiary. We just had that entire invasion with Impact Wrestling and AEW. It benefited absolutely nobody. oh, did Impact Wrestling was better off in the end with Kenny Omega being the champion? No. Did they get higher viewership? Maybe once in a while, but it was like a heartbeat monitor, just up and down, up and down, up and down. It didn't benefit in the long run. Honestly, anyone trying to say, oh well, we're gonna get some kind of invasion with Ring of Honor and Impact and AEW. Why? Tony owns half of AEW and Tony owns Ring of Honor. Who the fuck's gonna benefit from that? You're invading yourself. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. Another thing about that, it's just like everyone knows the infamous invasion of the invasion angle in WWE and how that was botched because Vince McMahon's pettiness and everything. But you don't need something like that. That Ring of Honor, for all I care, you can take Dark and Dark Elevation and rename them Ring of Honor, and there you go. Have Ring of Honor become a YouTube series for the AEW. You can have your guys like a guy like Jay Lethal who was a mainstay in Ring of Honor. I know he left there and came here, but he could go and be the face of Ring of Honor. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. What happens to all the champions? What happens to the Super Code of Honor? What happens to the entire thing? I do not know. Nobody really knows. All we know is Tony bought it. He has he owns the name, the rings, the production set and stuff. He owns all trademarks. He owns the video library. Which, when it comes to, a lot of people were speculating that this was going to be an announcement of HBO Max and AEW having a deal. There's if Tony Khan is coming out to the ring to make this announcement, there is no fucking way. Oh, we just signed a deal with HBO Max to have AEW. That would have been something a press release you put out on on social media. That would have been a big disappointment. It would have been good for the company, but how much they've been hyping and the fact that you have Tony Khan walking out to the ring to make this announcement, that would have been the biggest letdown in all year. People would have been bashing Tony. I mean, there's people bashing Tony for buying Ring of Honor. You know that's going to happen. There were the anti-AEW marks. There's the anti-Tony Khan marks who are only jealous because they wish they had as much money as him and his dad. I digress. But it's crazy thing about it is that Tony Khan helps run the Jaguars, runs Fulham, and is now running AEW, and now owns Ring of Honor. Honestly, it feels like when it comes to Ring of Honor, he's going to need somebody. He's going to be the guy signing the paychecks for Ring of Honor, but he's going to have a separate team running Ring of Honor. What happens with all that? What happens to Final Battle? Super Code of Honor. What happens after that? What happens to the Ring of Honor's TV on Sinclair? That's probably going to be defunct now. So many questions coming out of the entire Tony Khan purchases Ring of Honor, with not many answers right now. In the coming weeks, I'm sure we will find out more of this. Maybe we'll get a Ring of Honor TV on YouTube series for them. Maybe they'll tape Ring of Honor instead of AEW Dark. Ring of Honor will become, I don't know. There's just so many things that, like you said here, and they could do. But there's so much to go and so much to do, and we have one more show, of course, this coming Friday. But I'm going to do my predictions of Revolution tonight because this weekend, Friday night is live. Does not change much other than a Face of the Revolution qualifier happens on Friday. Christian versus Ethan Page. So, backstage, Sting said he is not worried about the fact that there are fines for anyone and suspensions for anybody who gets involved in a triple threat match on Friday between Darby, Andrade, and Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. Alan says it doesn't bother him either. No matter what happens, he and Sammy are teaming up on Sunday to steal the show because nobody is as crazy as they are. And on Sunday, but as for Friday, it's showtime. And Sting just gives that little smirk, that little smile. And we come to the next match. The Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. The winners will join Red Dragon and the Jurassic Express in a triple threat tag team match. for the AEW World Tag Team Champion. But, the first two teams were FTR, and the returning Darius Martin, the team with his brother Dante, the return of Top Flight. They were the ones to kick off this match. Not gonna go over the match too much. It's a battle royal, so it's like trying to go blow for blow and all that shit is fucking dumb. The Acclaimed enter next. Fucking Max Caster makes fun of everybody and drops a funny shot about Kane following his recent tweets on the Ukraine situation, which I'm not gonna get into here because that is not what we're here for. Anthony Bowen takes down Darius and all that stuff. Dark Order 10 and 5 enter next. They make their mark immediately, cleaning house. The Butcher and the Blade enter after that. At 5 ends up being the first man eliminated as he's launched out of the ring. Now this is AEW Battle Royal rules when it comes to tag teams. Both members need to be eliminated. Varsity the Blondes are out next. They immediately look to eliminate Bones, but clings on for tight. Bear Country enters, then Santana and Ortiz. They immediately begin brawling with Bear Country. They eliminate the two bigger men together. However, both after doing that, FTR almost stumps them out. Max Caster gets eliminated on the other side of the ring. Best Friends come in next. Dark Order enters Stu Grayson and Evil Uno this time. So Dark Order had 2 chances to make it to Revolution tonight. They work together. All 4 members work. 3 members work together, as of course Allen was already eliminated. 10 hits a kick to eliminate the Blade. Dark Order work together on the Butcher, taking shots at one time. They throw him out of the ring, and the Blade has been eliminated. Here come the Young Bucks, who take their time to the ring, surveying the damage. FTR is like, oh, we got some business beef with you guys. So they hold the ropes up and it's like, come on, guys, we'll let you in here. They square off before they can all wrestle. We have some other teams get involved. The Wingmen, Peter Avalon and Ryan Nemeth, come out next. The duo are able to make the impact early, but quickly get jumped any other teams. Here comes the Gun Club, who last about 60 seconds, if that. They get eliminated by FTR. Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson come out. 10 gets eliminated by Bowens after he pulls on the mask and hitting a back elbow to the back of the head. 2.0 enter the ring. The Bucks hit a double clothesline to eliminate Anderson, and not long after that, Johnson is eliminated as well by FTR. Top Flight take the fight to Bowens, clotheslining him out. Trent hangs on the ropes as Evil Uno tries to take him out, but Danhausen shows up, curses Uno. Uno eats a German half and half German suplex. He gets eliminated. 2.0 and Santana Ortiz brawl in the ring. The heels end up being sent out, but they have come back and work the assist, which leads to the former Inner Circle stands being bumped out. Chuck Taylor is out as well. Final 3 teams: Dante, Top Flight, FTR, and the Young Bucks. Unlike last week, we had 3 full teams at the end, towards the end of the match. Hardwood is almost eliminated, but only by 1 foot, which I hate when they do these battle royals and they have a ramp right there. Because if your both feet touch the ramp, you're eliminated. It's so fucking stupid. Can we just, not have a ramp there? I know they're in Daly's place, but do something, have the ramp pulled back a little bit so people have to hit the floor. It looks so stupid when someone lands on the ramp and it's like, nope, you're eliminated. You could be on the apron where the ramp's at and you just take a step back and you get eliminated. It's so stupid. Final, Hardwood is almost eliminated, but at 1 foot, the Red Dragon then appear and distract him. This allows the Bucks to hit the double suplex, eliminating him. Darius. So it ends up becoming Darius versus the Young Bucks. And Darius got his moment to shine. We got this with Dante a couple times in Battle Royals. But this time it was Darius, and the dude looked fucking amazing. And you know Darius has been out for about a year, over a year. He's only made, before tonight, he only made 1 appearance in Dante's corner for a match against, I think, the TNT champion at the time. I cannot remember. No, I think it was a match against Eddie Kingston on Dark or Dark Elevation. And that was it. That was the only time we saw Darius in 2021. So, him coming back, him having this fight, him taking out... He hits a Spanish Fly on Nick, which was fucking amazing. He tries to eliminate Nick, but Brandon Cutler helps him. However, Darius then ends up pushing Matt into his brother, which knocks him off. Comes down to the final 2, Darius and Matt. Matt and them both on the apron. Darius is fighting. He's pounding Matt's chest, trying to get him punching, and then Matt hits the low blow, says bye-bye, super kicks. Matt wins the match for the Young Bucks, and it will be, as everyone predicted, the Young Bucks versus Red Dragon versus the tag team champions of Jurassic Express at the pay-per-view. Just like any Battle Royal, there's not much you can really say about these Rumble type matches or Battle Royals in the beginning. It always comes down to the ending sequences, and my God, what an ending sequence for this match. Darius goes out there and Darius shines, and they put that spotlight on Darius, and he did not let them down. He looked amazing. It's great to see Darius back after being gone for over a year, torn ACL and all that stuff. Great. Chris Garrison says the wrestling world is buzzing. He jokes that Kingston doesn't know what his promo is saying it is. He says after the conversation we had, he said he's been a big star for a long time while Eddie has not. He says in AEW he is the big one, and his question is if Eddie can actually beat him. He doesn't think that, and Kingston has got what it takes. But if he does, he will shake Eddie's hand and say he has to respect it. If he doesn't, he will laugh and tell him the GFY, which he's trying to get over and doesn't. Santana and Ortiz appear unwrapping their tapes. They fist bump. Jericho asks if they're good, and they nod in respect, and he says, I always have your back, as we head to the ring. We go to commercial break, we come back, and it's time for the segment of the night. CM Punk comes to the ring, just in a white shirt, which you knew. You just knew. You just fucking knew. CM Punk's coming out in a white shirt, he's gonna bleed. By the time this segment's over, CM Punk's gonna have blood coming down his face. In this type of feud, this type of segment, if someone's coming down in all white of some kind, like a white shirt, or all white pants and a shirt or something, you know they're not leaving the area without blood on that shirt. It's a trope in wrestling. CM Punk says he used to wake up and put splash water in his face and ask himself when he looked in the mirror, am I the bad guy in this? He doesn't believe that people think they are the bad guy in their own story. Until a week ago, he thought Max was a bad guy, but he thinks what MJF did last week took courage, which he didn't think he had. He says he can't shake the feeling that he's being gaslit. He makes it clear. He doesn't think Max is lying, which, by the way, he is not. I think it's been corroborated by many that what he said last week was 1,000% true, but it is basically he just told his supervillain's origins last week. That's basically what it was. So he doesn't think Max is lying, but what he question is the sincerity and the fact that Punk says there's a famous photo of him with Steve Austin after Lesser Man framed him as someone who took his ball and went home. Punk didn't lash out, but since he's been here, he's seen Max knock out Dean Malenko, who's dealing with Parkinson's. He's seen him bury the late, great Brian Pillman in his hometown to his son. And he heard him say awful things about Darby Allin's uncle. One fact he knows is that hurt people hurt other people. Punk doesn't think he can say anything that is more impactful than anything he can do. He asks MJF to come out, the same one from last week. MJF appears, no music, which is the perfect way to do this. Same one, and he points out some of the things he did, such as mocking someone's addiction, Jeff Hardy, pouring ashes on a wrestler from his manager, aka Paul Bearer, The Undertaker. Dumping in alcohol on an alcoholic. I think that was Jeff Hardy as well. He says that stuff eats you up. It's not just going to keep you warm, it's going to burn you up. He says this is bigger than wrestling. It's about that 11-year-old kid who looks up to MJF the same way MJF did to him. He might be wrong, but he woke up this morning and asked himself if he's a good guy, and he has an answer. And he says he's trying. He's sure as hell trying to. Puts out his hand for MJF to shake, and MJF pushes that away, hugs him instead. Punk takes. He's like, what the fuck? He takes a minute and just, wait, what? And then he eventually accepts the hug. They share the hug. But after MJF pulls away, the obvious Dick Kick City low blow was going to happen. Hits the Heat Seeker, takes off his shirt, his jacket reveal. He has the t-shirt with them on it. This is personal. He tells Wardlow and Spears to come down. He puts the ring on. Clocks Punk in the head. He then attacks him repeatedly with the ring, busting him open while FTR stops security getting involved. Spears then puts the dog collar on CM Punk, who's outside, and MJF says, You stupid old man. I'm a snake. The greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. This Sunday, I show the world I am the devil himself. Spears pulls the dog collar over the top rope while Punk dangles until Sting, Sammy, and Darby all chase the heels away. This was fucking great. CM Punk, yes, the greatest storytelling is bringing real life into and turning it up to 11, and just mixing reality with fiction. Everything MJF said last week was 1,000% true. Absolutely. The dude's a Jewish man. He was probably bullied and picked on majority of his life, and he said one day, "Fuck it, I'm just like." He found his motivation, whatever that was, whether it was CM Punk or not, and bettered himself and became the man we know today. But this was great. Just pulling CM Punk, lowering his guard enough to where he could just beat the living shit out of him, bust him open, and leave him for dead. Awesome. MJF is the master manipulator in this, and it was just great. The night he wins that title, and the Wednesday after he wins the AEW World Championship from Hangman Page, which I would so love if after we go to Double or Nothing, if just so happens that the next Wednesday is in Hangman's hometown, that he would be the first guy you see holding that. And he would not just come out to his music, he would play Hangman's music, or they would play Hangman's music, and it would not be Hangman coming out, it would be MJF, just to get that extra nuclear heat. The minute that guy wins that world title, you're going to see trash in the ring. When he comes to the ring that next Wednesday night to celebrate his massive victory as the new AEW World Champion, there's going to be hatred, vitriol. Everyone's going to start, it's going to be fucking amazing. And I'm just going to sit back just smiling, laughing, wanting to eat some popcorn. This is how great this is going to be. Backstage, Keith Lee is trying to be interviewed. Ricky Starks interrupts and Lee says if this happens again, there will be none of him left. Starks says Rampage is Stark Country, while Hobbs saying he is president. Ricky just wants to give him a heads up on that. And Keith Lee says he will be there on Friday. So Friday, which is live, Keith Lee has a tune-up match. Is it against Will Hobbs? I hope the fuck not, because I don't know, that's just a little too early for that. Women's Tag Team match, Thunder Rosa and Martinez versus Jamie Hayter and the worst women's world champion in all of professional wrestling history, the Faker, spending her last Wednesday night with that championship, as we'll get to that later. Did not care about the match. Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez win. That better be the same way it ends on Sunday. I'm just saying. Wardlow versus Cesar Bononi. This match was your usual shtick with Wardlow, but this is a feat of strength. Cesar Bononi is bigger than Wardlow. Cesar Bononi looks stronger and is definitely probably a strong boy too. Wardlow put this motherfucker up in a powerbomb and hit him 3 times with a powerbomb. And did the foot on the mat, pin 1, 2, 3. That is no small feat. The fact that Cesar Bononi got picked up and powerbombed like he was nothing. Wardlow is just over as can be. I cannot wait to see this guy go out there on Sunday and win this ladder match, which we'll get to later. John Spears tries to use the chair. Wardlow grabs it, stops in the 2-man face to face. Spears wisely goes, you know what? This is not the time to do this. I'm going to just walk to the back. In a video package of House of Black saying they help Penta give his new level of violence, Buddy Matthews says they don't cast judgment. They seek the truth. The truth is the House always wins. They are the House and the House always wins. Backstage, Wardlow is trying to he's just pissed. He's done with Sean Spears. But MJF comes in and says, you know what, dude? If you won the Face of the Revolution ladder match and you win the TNT title, I'll let you keep the belt. Not like you're going to win it anyway. As MJF is leaving, Wardlow says, yeah, that's because I'm too busy making sure you win all the time. MJF comes back in, slaps him, and says, "Listen, you must forgot who you're talking to." The big man, he says, reminds him that you're not employed by AEW, you work for me, you're my bodyguard, you do what I say. Like Wardlow's winning on Sunday. Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind that Wardlow is winning that, and probably winning the TB. If he wins the Face of the Revolution ladder match, he's got to win the TNT title. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Kind of takes away the sting of the turn if you're gonna have him just get to keep the title if he wins it. That should have been the way the way this goes, is that he wins the title, he wins the ladder match, he wins the title. Next week, MJF wants him to hand in the title in a ceremony of a handing over ceremony, and Wardlow refuses, destroying all of the Pinnacle. With MJF, of course, getting away because it's not MJF doesn't. Whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Adam Cole and Red Dragon versus Hangman Adam Page, Cowboy John Silver, and Cowboy Alex. No, I'm just kidding. They had bandanas on. It was funny. Good match here. 6-man tag match. Obviously, we should be getting trio titles later this year. With Ring of Honor now being under the wing of AEW, Ring of Honor does have trios titles, by the way. What happens with those trios titles? Do not know. Anyway. Adam Cole starts out, but he backs away from the World Champion, tags in Bobby Fish. Hangman immediately takes the fight to him. Launching him in the corner as he stomps away. However, Fish fights back and Kyle O'Reilly comes in despite a double team attempt. Page runs through them and drops the Fish onto his partner. Silver comes in, and he and Kyle exchange strikes. Alex Reynolds comes in and they work a combination of offense and the drop kick to Kyle. The former NXT stars then light up Alex with a striking ability. Hangman manages to tag in, but he gets goaded away, and the heels take advantage. Take a shot from behind. Usual shtick here from everybody. The champ tags in Alex, but then gets sent to the floor. Cole takes advantage and hits a pump kick to Reynolds, then charges in with one of his own, only for Alex to eat a super kick. Then he lowers the boom on him. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole and Red Dragon pick up the win, as they should have, as long as the champion didn't get pinned. Which, you see the difference between a good champion that you want to protect and a weak champion that you know you made a mistake with and should lose that championship on Sunday. And I'm talking about the men's world champion and the women's world champion. Adam Cole, they were both in tag team matches tonight. Which one was not pinned and which one was? Tells you all you need to know about who looks weak and who doesn't going into the pay-per-view. After the match, Cole attacks Reynolds again until Page makes the save. He then fights off all of his opponents, but before he can hit the buckshot lariat, Fish swipes his leg. They use duct tape to tie him up the ropes while Red Dragon and Adam Cole just get destroyed. Destroy Alex Reynolds and John Silver, making Adam Hangman Page watch. Page headbutts Cole, but he gets hit with 2 super kicks as they puts the title on him and says, "This title now belongs to me." Red Dragon and Adam Cole face the camera, they pose, and the show goes off the air with Adam Page still tied up. Pretty good show. I wouldn't say it's the strongest go-home show. I mean, everything takes a bump down because of the news of Ring of Honor being purchased. Is this going to be a purchase and everything becomes a part of AEW and we get some kind of silly invasion angle, even though most of Ring of Honor's talent are moved on to Impact Wrestling and New Japan, and of course and AEW with Jay Lethal and Brody King. What's going to happen with Ring of Honor is a big question. Now, before we get out of here, we got to go our predictions for Sunday night. Hook is on the card. He is on the pre-show as he's taking on QT Marshall. QT Marshall has had problems and has been all up Taz's ass about his son and everything else. Hook is going to destroy QT. I give him about 2 minutes. Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. This will probably be the remainder of the kickoff show. Chris Statlander is probably going to lose because Layla just turned heel, and you don't want her to lose. Jay Cargill versus Tay Conti. Tay Conti should win. But with them doing this whole, who's next? I'm the black female Goldberg. Obviously, Jay Cargill is going to win. She's going to make Tay Conti look terrible. And the match is going to suck. And Tony Khan's going to be embarrassed on live, on pay-per-view, when Jay Cargill stinks up the joint again. Andrade El Idolo, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara. Why this match is happening is just so random. This match, it feels like, was booked because they wanted to do a trios match, and Phoenix is not ready to come back yet, so you couldn't do House of Black versus Death Triangle. So they just threw a match together, and you have Matt Hardy, Andrade El Idolo, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Darby, Sting, and Sammy. Darby, Sting, and Sammy are winning. Matt Hardy is going to be beaten down by Andrade and Isaiah Cassidy. They are like Andrade's tired of failure. Isaiah feels like Andrade is a better mentor to him and Mark Quinn than Matt Hardy was. So they're going to beat down Matt Hardy, leave Matt Hardy to the Wolves, and Matt Hardy will lose this match for his team. Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles in a triple threat match. This is a match where I see two things could be happening. The Jurassic Express retain the titles because the Red Dragon and Young Bucks get in each other's way, causing them to have a mess up, and the Jurassic Express retain. Or they play on Christian Cage heel turn that was supposed to happen on January 1st, on the first episode on Wednesday night on the TBS debut, but was probably audibled out because of Phoenix's injury, is going to happen here. And Red Dragon are going to win the tag team titles because it's better for the Young Bucks to be chasing, if that. Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, one-on-one. This is going to be a big toss-up. This is the one match of the night that I have no idea who's going to win. They can go either way with this. Jon Moxley gets beaten down, head kicked in, and Matt Danielson wins. Or Jon Moxley beats down Bryan Danielson, and beats him, and then they form up and become a team, a fearsome team. I don't know which way we're going to go with this. This one, I'm going to say Jon Moxley probably wins. It is his first big pay-per-view match back. But this was like a win-win or a lose-lose for either one. Either man can lose, either man can win. I don't know, but I'm going to say Jon Moxley. Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho. I'm saying Eddie Kingston is not going to win this match because they are putting this out as they are having Jericho push. You can't win the big one. And if you want to make this, you want to get this to Double or Nothing and make this a three-match feud. Jericho wins the first one by hook or by crook or by clean, whatever. Jericho wins, barely wins, but he wins. And for the next few weeks, Jericho just goes all in on badgering and making fun of Eddie Kingston because Eddie Kingston could not win the big one. Like, see, I told you, you couldn't win the big one. You're a failure. You've been nothing but a failure, just like your father, just like your uncle, yada, yada, yada. And then they get a second match. Jericho has to cheat to win. The third match at Double or Nothing. Eddie Kingston wins, clean as a whistle, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and you go on from there. This one has the potential to be at least a 2-month feud, 3-month feud. You have the match in March, you have a match in April, you have the match at Double or Nothing you have the match at Double or Nothing. You could even make it a stipulation in the third match. If Eddie Kingston can't beat Chris Jericho at Double or Nothing, Eddie Kingston loses AEW. Plain and simple. Face of the Revolution ladder match. They said there was going to be 7 men in this match. Right now you have Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and Ethan Page. Let me read this right. Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, Ethan Page. I'm sorry, or Ethan Page and Christian Cage. So that's 6 men right there. Obviously, the last man's probably going to be Jeff Hardy. Oh wait, no, it can't be. Never mind. Scratch that. I don't know who it's going to be, but the last man, of course, is going. They're going to do the Casino Battle Royal style rules like they did last year. 2 men start. They can win at any time. Every 90 seconds, somebody comes in, and then we have a Joker card with the winner being that person being, which last year was All Ego Ethan Page. So who knows goes that way? But I say it doesn't matter who the wild card is. Doesn't matter if anyone else. Wardlow wins this match, no doubt about it. Thunder Rosa is going to be winning the AEW Women's World Championship in, I'd say, less than 5 minutes. This match does not need to go 20 minutes long. We do not need to be drugged through another carry job by Thunder Rosa. Get it over, quick, clean, and simple. Out of here. CM Punk versus MJF, dog collar match. MJF has to win this one. If MJF is going to be the next man in line to win the AEW, the next man in line to challenge Hangman Adam Page, they teased this all the way back in November that this is where he's going. Then obviously, MJF wins, plain and simple, no doubt about it. And it protects CM Punk. CM Punk doesn't have to take a loss by pinfall or submission. He just loses. I think that's how this works. Isn't dog collar match the four corners, but only dog collar? I'm pretty sure that's how this works. Either way, MJF wins, no doubt about it. Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole, AEW World Heavyweight Championship in the main event. This will be a damn good match. But unfortunately for Adam Cole, his winning streak, his undefeated streak, is coming to an end. Hangman Adam Page retains. If you're going to have MJF be the next champion, then there's no reason nobody other than Hangman Page should be the champion. I suspect a very stacked card. There were 11 matches, of course, 2 on the pre-show. Going over them again, Hook, Layla Hirsch, Jade Cargill, Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara, Jurassic Express, John Moxley, Chris Jericho, Wardlow, Thunder Rosa, MJF, Hangman Page. That is my predictions for the pay-per-view. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, find me on Minds of the France Club, find me on twitch.tv/The France Club, and find me on Instagram at The France Club. And I will see you guys on Friday for SmackDown and Rampage. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.